Hi friends. So for the today we have another Leetcode problem. It's called Roman to integer. So what the problem statement says that we have been given a symbol and then the value. For example, we have given I, V, X, L, C, D, M, and each symbol has a value. So these are the Roman numerals, um, and we need to convert this Roman numeral to the integer. So for example, we have been given this Roman numeral and we need to convert this to the integer. Similarly, we have been given this Roman numeral and then the integer and so on. But there are certain tricks that we need to understand when calculating the Roman numerals. So usually the calculation is pretty simple. We just add all the values in the symbol. But there are certain patterns which makes it a little bit different when it comes to 5, 550, 500, 10, 100 or 1000. So as you can see these conditions, when it reaches to the 5, then we don't basically uh, write the I mean, if it, for example, if we need to say 4, uh, then we don't say that I. So, and we don't count it like 1 1 1 1, so it makes it 4 if you add it. Basically, whenever a certain number is before 5, so for example, if you want to say 5, sorry, if you want to say 4, we don't say uh, like adding I, but we say that 1 less in 5. So I think that is a little bit confusing. So let me first write it down here. So if you want to say 4, usually if you think, we just want to say that I is 4, right? As per this symbol. But what the way Roman numerals are written is that we basically whenever the number reaches whenever the number reaches before 550 or 500 and so on, so we can basically we say that the it is uh, 1 unit lesser than the higher number. So in this pattern it says that we can attach I before V and X, or basically 5 or 10. So if you want to write 4, it would be I V and not the 4 times I. If you want to write 10, we would say 10. Sorry, if you want to write 9, say 10 minus 1. That is 9. So whenever there is like a number like 5, 550, 500 or 10, 100 or 1000, if we basically the numbers that is like 1 unit less to the highest number is written some like this. So we need to take care of the situation when we write the conversion. So we'll make sure that we cover this case when we calculate the integer. So that is the only thing we need to take care of, and otherwise this problem is easy. We can just add the numbers, except we need to catch this case and treat it appropriately. So how would we solve this problem? So first of all, we need to return the result, right? It's the integer. So let me just initialize it. Just create the variable result. First thing I would do is I will create a map and I will store the character and integer. This is going to be my hash map. So I will call it hm and I will initialize it. I will put in the hash map all these characters. So for example, I would become 1. Similarly, we have bunch of characters, 2, 3, we have V, 5, x and lct 500 150 and 10. Okay, so we have initialized our hash map, which contains a symbol and its value. We'll use it when we calculate the value and convert it to integer. Now, what we have to do is we're gonna traverse the each of the input which is given to us, which we need to convert it to integer. So this is string. We need to read each character in the string, and then we need to basically calculate the integer value, and then basically sum it. So we have string, we can convert it to the char array. So I'll just call it as char for now. And the next thing that we have to do is we need to operate this as char. So we need to basically create a for loop that runs s dot length at I plus plus. So I'm traversing the each character in the string. First of all, I need to check if the HM, that is my hash map, and the current char is lesser than equal to, so it should be so it should be the next is the, so what I'm doing is here is, for example, let's say this one, the last one, to get example. So we have this one, right? So let's say the first character is this. What we are checking is that the next character is basically greater than the first character. Why we are checking that? Because as we explained earlier, that there can be these situations where if the first character is lesser than the next character, that means we are basically in this territory and we have to handle this case. But if that is not the case, then we can just simply add the value of that character into our sum. Let me also create the sum, which will be which will be used to add all the values of the each character that we traverse. So what we are doing here is that if the next character is lesser than current character I, so if the current character is greater than or equal to the next character, which is the case here, we'll just simply add the value, because we are not handling the special cases, right, that was explained here for the subtraction. So we can just say give me the char of I. But if this is not the case, then the first character is lesser than the next character. In this case, we need to subtract. To subtract the current element. Why? Because as I explained you, in the case of IV, we have 5, we have 1. So what is the relation here? This total value is 4, and how we read is like it's a 5 less 1 unit. So 5 less 1. So if 5 is plus and we call it 1 less, right? That is equal to 4. That's how we write. these special cases. Okay, if it's ix, then what we say is that x is 10, I is 1, right? So this is 10, I is -1. So 1 less in 10 is 9. This is how we treat it. So this else part takes care of it. That's why we need to first subtract this element. So if our current element is I and this is lesser than the next element, then we subtract I, and in the next iteration this 5 is going to be added anyway in this condition. So the total value would be 4. So the sum gets evaluated properly, and this is how the sum gets evaluated. But there is one problem here. We are calculating the one index ahead, right? So we need to make sure that we don't get index out of bound exception. So we use the one index before. So this will be, for example, if this is the input, we will just traverse until here. And the last element, we don't need to be worried about the special condition. Why? Because the special condition will not be applicable since this is the last element and there won't be any element. So we don't need to, so there won't be a special case as we saw before. So it's going to be just hash map dot get the scare. The length would be string length -1. So just get the value of the last character, and that would be my sum. Basically, I don't need another variable here, so my sum is basically my return variable. So even I can just remove this one and just give the sum as the output. So I think we are done. Let me execute the code and see if it works. Okay, so it works for the 3, but we should also consider the another cases. So let me try the complex one here. Okay, it works. Let me try another one. Okay, looks like it is working. So let me give it a try and submit it. Okay, so our solution got accepted and it's faster than 69% of Java solutions. So looks okay. And this problem is, although it's easier, a little bit tricky to handle the special case, but it's in the good problem for the beginners to start with. So I think I should give a like and see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching this one.